caravan before?
No.
No. So when you first get to site, obviously you need to choose a pitch, or you'll be shown to a pitch depending on what club you may be part of or not. So when you get to site, if you're using the cart obviously to get it onto the pitch, have a look at the pitch. If it's got a bit of a slope on its side to side, you're going to need to level it. Okay? The way to level it is either you drive it using a vehicle to push it up onto the box, or pull it up onto the box. So side to side, the only way you do is lift it by doing that. So you can get these plastic ramps, so then it can drive up and it'll lift the side up if it needs it. If you're on hard standing, most of the time they're fairly level side to side. Okay? The reasons why we need to get it level is one, the sink, drainage. So if the sink is like that angle and the drain's this side, obviously the water's just going to sit in the sink, not going to go down the plug hole. Same with the fridge, obviously I've got a drain on it, but it doesn't like being on an angle, it upsets it a bit. Okay? So once you've got it side to side, level, if it's already level you don't need to level it, obviously that's all the better. Handbrake on, get the car off, so make sure you disconnect all the cables as well.
Yeah.
Get the car off. I will go for the running gear once we connect to the car. It's easier to show you when it's connected to the car. Okay?
Yeah.
So once you've done that, then you need to level it front to back. So spirit level obviously in all these occasions, obviously good. Get a spirit level on a flat surface. So to level it front to back then, use the jockey wheel. Okay, so if obviously nose too high or too low, you can wind it up or down until you get it level that way.
Yeah.
Okay? Once you've done that, then you can start putting the legs down. So they're just steadies. They're not there for lifting. They're not a jacking system. So that the handle you've got here, so on the side of the van, you can wind it down. Okay, it takes a while. If you've got something like a cordless drill, very useful. You can get something connection like that, and that'll be down in seconds. Whereas this, you're going to be there for quite a while winding it down. Wind it down all the way down to the ground. As I said, it's not a jacking system. It's just a steady. So there's one in each corner, and that stops the caravan bouncing around when you're walking in and out of it. Okay, so you just want to get down to the ground and just touch it. Okay.
Okay. But you don't use that to level it.
No, they're just there to steady it. Once you're in, it's obviously it's very important you get at least one leg down at the back first, or if you're going to go into it, obviously. Yeah. If you don't, you can have a bit of a seesaw. Okay, a bit embarrassing when you're on site. Once I've done that all four, we'll do that. There's still a bit of movement there. Obviously, you haven't got enough pressure, so just another half turn, check it again, and you've got enough pressure. Then you're okay. If you start piling stuff out of the van like awnings and things like that, which are heavy, obviously it lifts up on the suspension. So you might just have to do it again. Just tighten it. Okay. I'll wind that one back up again because I forget. I have got the two on the back, so there's no way it's going to be tipping over. Okay. Obviously, if it's on the car, it's not going to tip over because obviously the car's holding it nose down. And at the moment, the jock wheel is actually what's holding it at the front. Okay, so I'll do that on all four legs. I'll show you the rear one when we get there. So once we've got that all steady, then we can start connecting all the surfaces. Okay, so you have a gas. Propane or butane in the front.
Yeah.
You need a pigtail to operate whichever gas you're going to be using. We've got our gas connected at the moment, so obviously you won't be dragging one of these behind you.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got an onboard regulator. You can see that there. So you can use propane or butane. So the red or the blue bottles on that. Obviously, dependent on which one you use, is what pigtail you're going to use. Okay. So propane is better for all year round.
Okay.
Butane in the blue bottle is more for summer. Okay, what it doesn't like cold weather, it doesn't like gassing off at very cold temperatures. So propane, you can use that all year round. Okay. Right, so I don't know if you've ever connected a gas bottle. On this one I've got here is a hand type one. It's a reverse thread. So any gas connection will be a reverse thread. So you can either have that style for the propane, or you can have the spanner type one. But it is reverse thread. Okay. You've also got the wheel nut spanner, so that also comes with it. So normally when you open a gas locker, you can turn your gas on, ready to use. You'll probably be taking things out there to obviously connect as well.
Yeah.
First thing we come to here, obviously your Acrol, obviously your water container. That's what he's going to supply your van. This is your water pipe here to connect it or disconnect it. So you disconnect it, pull the trigger. Slide out, and your spanner drops to the floor, or just push it in. Okay. So go and fill your Acrol, obviously one of the first jobs. Then place your waste master down there as well, or wastewater container. So we'll see where my bucket is there. There's two outlets there that come from the sink and the shower and the kitchen. So that all comes out to that point there. Okay, so you need a plug-in pipe, which is a standard fit, and that will go into a waste holding the container. Waste Master is usually one we.
I was going to say one comes
you
with
can get waste
one comes with the kit there, doesn't it? Or something? Yeah, is that right?
Yeah. So if you've got a starter pack, you'll get the Acrol, the Waste Master, and the piping and things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And you should get the gas and the
I think
pigtail
that's
as
as well, isn't it?
Yep. Okay. So as you're going along, this is your vent for your boiler.
Okay.
So if you're going to operate on gas, you could probably take the cover off at this point.
Okay.
And obviously put that in the gas locker. If you operate on electric, you don't need to take the cover off.
Okay.
But if you're operating on the gas boiler on the gas, you need to take that off. If you forget, don't worry, it will just shut down anyway.
Okay.
So I'll go for that when we talk about the water heating inside. Okay, next thing we come along to, if you're aware of a caravan works off 12-volt systems, you can obviously operate that without electric connected. So you could be on the site with no electric, you can still operate the systems as long as you've got a fully charged battery and on gas. But most sites will have an electric connection, so you might as well connect the electric
And
so
save
it
your
save your gas. Okay. So when you connect the electric, connect it to the caravan first. So
Would you have no need to have that plugged in at all then? Like literally, if you were on a site with electric, you wouldn't even need that, or did you still need it?
No, if you've got electric, you will connect that. Your battery will always be in there, even though it's not really drawing the battery as such when you've got electric connected on the different 12-volt systems. It's still there in the background using it, and it's just going. The power is actually going through the charger, a bit like a car and alternator. It goes through that rather than drawing power from the battery. You'll see that. I can see where they were going running off to then. So when you connect your electric to your van, make sure you connect to the van first, unravel the cable fully, then connect to your bollard. Don't do it the other way around. Connect into the bollard first. Obviously, you've then got a live cable walking across the wet grass. Okay, normally your battery will be sitting inside there, inside your bag. What you'll do with the cable is just thread it into that gap there, then close the battery box up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Going along here, obviously that's your wastewater outlet. So you've just got the two flaps you open up, push the pipe in. What you will find is once you've emptied your Acrol, so you obviously used the Acrol, the water that's in it.
Yeah.
When you go to fill that up, just check that. Your Waste Master will likely to be full because obviously the water's gone through there, down the drain and back out this way. So make sure you check that because you don't want two lots of Acrol trying to get out into one Waste Master because it's not going to go. Okay.
Presumably, does it make any difference whether that runs dry or not?
No. You'll hear the pump. Screaming away.
It'll just conk out and then you just go and fill it up.
That's it. Right. Toilet. So this little gadget here. So before you can use your toilet, obviously you need to fill things. So first thing we come to is flush tank. So it's got a flush tank. It's a reservoir. You flush into the toilet. This is when obviously you unscrew that, put that on the top. As you can see that there, it's obviously as you're trying to fill it, it's going to go back up again.
Yeah.
So you need to use that
to raise
it up to fill it up. You have got a dip tube there to show your level of what's in there. Okay. So it's a pink chemical that goes in there, and you top it with water. Don't travel with it full. If it's full, it may overflow into the van. So when you're travelling, you can travel with some in there. Obviously, having little ones, you're travelling to whatever distance. You only just got 5 minutes. I don't want to go to the toilet. Well, at least with this, you can pull into a lay-by, and you've got your onboard toilet you can still use. Okay. So pink chemical in there and top it up with water. Blue chemical in here. So you put about a cap full of blue chemical and about a litre of water. That's there to start breaking down the nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Always fun. And to empty it, so it coming out at that point there, air button allows it to flow freely.
Is that just opened and slid in?
No, that's as it is now. And you can just slide that into position.
And then that's working?
Yeah, and that you've got a wastegate which is inside. So when you open the wastegate, that opens that up.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Okay, what you've also got, as you see there, handle and obviously wheels, obviously very easy to go and empty. As exciting job it is. Oh, and what you've also got, this dip tube, that is your drain down for your flush tank. Okay, it is very important that you drain that down for winter.
Okay.
Same with the rest of the water system, same with that.
Yeah.
So all you do is just pull that out of there, drop that down, and then you just tip it out. Okay. Best thing to start with is to flush the toilet first. Get those amount of water you can out of there by flushing it.
Yeah.
Just drain the last little bit by that. Okay. And I'll just slide that back in. You have some willing volunteers to go and empty them for you. We have willing volunteers to fill it, probably.
Yeah, I like it.
And obviously you've got.
Listo, just stand back a little bit because I need to know what the mum's saying, bub.
You've got access to naughty kid area. So So you can obviously lift that up. You see that, and it locks up into position.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously just be careful, obviously kids in there, and you could put bikes in there. The only thing is there's a lot of weight at the back of the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just going to be careful you balance that out if you do put anything in the back here.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
So obviously not really an entrance in and out for the kids.
Yeah.
Which they may when they get a bit older, perhaps think, oh, that's a good escape route. Yeah, right. Okay, so your legs at the back, you see the bolt head there, that's where obviously where you wind down for them.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
that one.
As I said, at least one of them down before you get in.
Yeah.
Or if you're still connected to the car, obviously you lay by, it'll bounce a little bit, and when the wagon goes past you'll feel it. It'll do a bit of that obviously as the wagon goes past. Right, coming down here, you have got other outlets. So you've got electric outlet for if you want to have an awning, you can put electric into your awning.
Cool.
Oh, brilliant.
And also the gas barbecue point. So you just need a fitting, it's around about a piece of brass pipe about that long, and that just pops into there, and obviously you can turn the gas on and off on that tap.
Awesome.
Okay, brilliant.
Yeah, really good.
Then, alongside it, this is a safety feature obviously you need to be aware of. Wheel nuts, they've got the tendency to come loose, so you need to check them every time you go away.
Okay.
I always check them before I go away. So 115 Newton meters, so I've got a torque spanner somewhere, which I will check before you leave.
Okay.
So if you have got a torque spanner, do check them regularly,
Okay.
because you definitely don't want wheels coming in.
No.
Okay.
Okay?
115.
Yeah, 150 Newton meters. So key-wise, we've got that one as spare
Yeah.
for the door, then one's for lockers and one as spare for lockers.
Okay, yeah, fine.
Right, if you'd like to go inside and we'll explain the control panels and everything else that's inside. Obviously it'll be nice and cool in here. That's
Nice.
As it has been all day. I was just lucky that the first motor on my hangover this morning had an aircon unit in it. That's the only one I've had all summer so far. It's just been too hot. Right, if you can just see down here, control panel as you come into your van. So when you come in, you always switch your 12 volt systems on. So once you're on site, you leave it switched on. Okay, obviously when it's time to go home, then you can switch that off. So all you've got is that power button there, switches your 12 volts. That's that all lit up. If I just switch that off now, that's all the 12 volt systems off. You see the two lights at the front?
Yeah.
They're 240 volt lights. All the rest of the lights are 12 volt. So that's why they're still on.
Okay.
I'll switch the 12 volt systems on, but the lights are still on. Obviously the microwave will still be on as well. If you're on site and you haven't got any electric connected, then lights will not be working. Right?
Okay.
So if you're sitting there and saying, why are these lights not working? It's
Fair
because they're 240. Right.
Okay.
So when you come into the van, press the power switch on. That's now started up your 12 volt systems. Showing on here, that's your leisure battery, the level of that. Okay. That is showing if I press view levels again, that's showing 14 volts at the moment. That's going through a charger. That's why it's pushing more power through to charge it. Your normal setting you would normally, if you didn't have electric connected, so your true value of the battery, you'd be looking around 12 and a half. Okay, on a good battery. Obviously, because it's on a charger, then you don't need to worry too much about the level of that. But obviously, if you've got no electric, that you need to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, once it goes below, say 11, when it gets around 11 and a half, things don't start. So you get something like the fridge igniter won't be working, but it needs a certain amount of voltage for it to operate.
Yeah.
Same with the boiler, same with heater. Okay.
Yep.
What's also shown on there, that is lit up to say we've got electric connected. That's lit up there to say we've got leisure battery connected. If you have the car still attached on site, you can actually draw power from there, but obviously you could end up flattening the battery on that.
Yeah.
Okay. But this you don't need to switch this on when you're travelling. So the 12 volts from your car can actually power things like the fridge, and it can also power the charger.
But we wouldn't need that on.
You don't need to switch that on. No,
So
it will
literally
automatically
plug
do
in-
that.
Basically plug and go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apart from the fridge, just needs to be turned to battery setting on the fridge.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I'll show you in a second. Okay. Oh God, I wish you wouldn't do that. Okay. When you think you're starting to move,
Yeah.
do that today. Right. So water pump. Do not switch that on straight away. What you need to do is make sure the drain down is closed, which I'll show you in a second, and all the taps are closed. If you don't do that and you just come in, switch the water pump on, you haven't got all the taps shut, water could be going anywhere.
Okay.
Okay. Especially in the shower because you've got a combined unit of toilet, shower, all in one unit.
Okay.
Okay. So if we have a look under that bunk down there on the right. Right.
Sorry, man.
So you can either see it from there or from there. You can see the yellow lever, what looks like a bit like a duck's head.
Yeah.
See that? That's
On
your
the blue
drain
thing.
down. Yeah,
Yep.
so that's your drain down for your boiler. And the rest of the water system is going to go out through that valve there. It's closed at the moment, so it allows the water to circulate your system. If it's pointing upwards, the water will drain straight down onto the ground underneath the van. So when you come into your van, make sure you close that. That's
So
the
it
one
must
thing.
be in that position.
Yeah, so it's horizontal, that is closed.
Yeah.
You can get water into your system, into your tap.
Okay.
The other thing, obviously, as I said, check your taps. You can see this tap, it will move.
Yeah.
If you've taken the bowl out or done something, that could be anywhere. You see where
Yeah.
that can go right over there, right over there.
Yeah.
So make sure it's over the bowl and shut.
Okay.
Same with the shower. So then we can switch water pump on. So by pressing the button that says water pump, you'll see a green light inside, that means it's on. Okay, this control panel will go to sleep after a period of time, so you'll see no lights on it at all.
Okay.
But it's still there because you can see obviously
Okay.
the lights will be operating. To purge the air out of the system, if you drained down your water system previously, obviously we need to get the air out of the system and water into it. Start on the cold side. It's a pressurised system, so the pump operates, which is on board, is pressurised. So as soon as you open the tap, that releases pressure, so it needs to gain the pressure so the pump will start operating. I always start on the cold side first, get the air out the cold side. Once you've got a solid stream of water like that, then we need to fill the hot water tank. So we go across to the hot side now. So what we've got there, if you drained that tank previously, so that is a 10 litre tank, there's 10 litres of air now that needs to come out through that tap. So it's going to take a couple of minutes for it to do it. I've done it, I've primed it already. So you'll get a lot of sputtering, you can see a few spots here. So once you've got a solid stream like that, you know your hot water tank's full. If it's still spluttering and you can hear the pump still running, there's still a bit of air in the system. So run it a bit longer. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Now, Felicity, off there for a second.
I thought, who's right? Who's bagged
So the moment,
the top bump?
at the
then?
moment you're filling it up.
Yes.
Not releasing it, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's getting the air out,
Yeah, you're getting the air out
and
for it to run through.
which
yeah.
is topping the tank. Okay, which I have already primed.
But then
So-
presumably when you want to go the other way, it'll be a case of, do you leave that on when you're draining it out, or do you turn that off and then...
all it is just gravity that's going to drain
Okay,
it.
alright,
So you open that yellow lever,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's pointing upwards. Open all the taps to centre, then it will just drain. Gravity will drain it down.
Okay.
I tend to do that. Obviously, it's very important for winter. You do that.
Yeah.
I tend to do that when I'm leaving site.
Yeah.
So I'll get not on the pitch. Obviously,
Yeah.
the next person's not going to be happy. We've got to have a soggy pitch. I tend to drive to the gateway. There's usually some kind of key or card or something you may take back to the wardens. So when my wife's doing that, I jump in the caravan, lift that lever up, open all the taps to centre. So as I'm driving home, that bit of movement
Yeah.
helps to drain down. And by the time you get home, it should be fully drained.
Yeah.
Okay. So happy with that? Yeah.
And that water's going out through those outlets down there.
Yeah. So that drain there is coming out through the two
To the
where my
waste.
bucket is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do the same with your shower as well. Get the air out of the system, because otherwise the pump, you'll hear the little pump run that little bit longer.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So next thing, once you've obviously got water in the system, you can then heat the boiler. Obviously, you don't want to be heating it before, because it's not going to do it any good if you're starting to heat the element. It's like boiling a kettle with no water in it.
Yeah.
It's obviously not going to be lasting very long. So if we just open that flap again, we then, you can see there, we've got the consumer unit. Okay, you can just see the front here. Look. So the orange lights, so water heating on electric, is that one there. That is the really important one to switch off when you're going home. Even though when you unplug electric, obviously there's not going to be any power to that boiler anyway. But when you come to your next site, you plug electric in, that has been left switched on,
Yeah.
you can quite easily obviously damage the boiler.
Yeah.
Okay, it has got a thermal switch on it, which can cut out. So if it overheats, it'll shut off. So if you have done that, I've done it myself. Switch that off, give it a few seconds, and it may reset.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, it might have just damaged the boiler. It's going to have new parts to replace. I'm going to leave that off now, so I don't forget.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave that switched off. Okay. You can also heat the water via gas. So you have a look up here, which is quite conveniently failed. Right. So we've got two controls here. The one on the left, it says Ultra Store. Okay. Ultra Store, storing your water. That's your hot water tank. Ultra Heat, heater. That's your fire.
Okay.
So the one we're looking at is the Ultra Store one. You can see that's got a little gas flame icon there. So you can see that it's actually gone to failure. I've got a red light on there, it's got failure. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it off. If I've turned it on, it goes to red, that means it's failed. You need to check, one, you have turned your gas on. Two, you have got gas. So you could just fire your cooker up. You can see if you've got gas burning. And also, you remember the cover on that boiler outlet outside? Make sure you've taken that off. Then come back and reattempt to light it. So turn it back on again. Yeah, there's the boiler clicking. So it may fail again. The reason for that may be that you've either you've just changed your gas cylinder recently and it's allowed a bit of air into the system. So what it needs to do is purge it out. So it may fail again. Okay. If it fails again, switch it off, give it about a minute, switch it back on again. So after about 2 or 3 attempts, it should purge the air out and stay lit. Okay.
So why was that failed?
It's because I just switched it on, moments before you got here, and that's why it's failed.
Okay.
Because it takes me 2 or 3 attempts, and I was running around doing other things.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
And then I've come back to it, and it's failed. So it's the same with the fridge. Sometimes it does that as well.
That does what?
That's
That heats
heating
your water
on gas.
on gas.
Yeah. So
if we were on electric, we wouldn't have to do anything with
not
that.
necessarily. No.
Does the water heat by Lecky as well?
Yes, it's just that one there.
Then, yeah.
That's the
So the water heater on electric is that button down there.
Does it matter with the is the orange one that's on at the moment then for Lecky or?
That's the space heater one that's on. That's for the fire at the moment.
Okay.
The one that says water heater is water heating.
Do I basically want all those lights off when we're going home though, or something like that?
Yeah.
So if we've left site,
The
literally turn
really
everything-
important one is the water heater. The other ones are fine. You won't damage anything with any of the other ones. But if you get into the process of switching them all off, then you know it's off.
Yeah.
But the water heater is the definite one you need to switch off. That's the one you could damage something with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see, come back to the boiler one now. Look, see it's staying on green now.
Yeah.
Right. So the difference between heating on electric or gas. Electric is thermostatically controlled to 70 degrees. There's no variance in that. On the gas side, if you're just doing gas, you can vary it from 70 degrees to 30 degrees if you want to.
Okay.
And you can operate gas and electric on the water heating together. Okay. So if you want to heat the water up rather quickly, that's a lot more energy all there to boost it up. So say you wanted to use a shower on board, you want extra hot water quicker, then that will do that. It's not instant heat, so your cold water is going to take half an hour, it should be hot. If you've got both of the energies running, and then it will heat up quicker. So once you start using the hot water out of the hot water tank, it starts topping up with cold. Right, so by the time you've got down half a tank, it's half a tank of cold, half a tank, so it's going to dilute the temperature there. But if you've got both operating, electric and gas, it obviously gives you that extra boost as such. If you're using the use the shower facilities on sites, which are usually pretty good anyway. You've got usually most sites it's usually free anyway. You get the odd sites you have to pay 20p a time and things like that, which don't last that long. But when you've got kids to wash and things like that, you have plenty of water on the facilities compared to in here.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's water heating. Room heating, obviously we don't need to worry too much about that at the moment, but in March it was a bit colder. So heating, so we've got the fire which is sitting behind me here. So you've got options of electric and gas on that one as well, but not both at the same time. So if you're on site, it's cold, you could put it onto the gas heating first, warm the fabric of the van, then switch the gas off, turn it across to electric, and it'll tick over nicely on the electric. Or if you're quite happy and waiting for the electric to warm up on 2 kilowatts, then you can wait for that. All right. So if it's really, really cold, that's where you might want to use gas on its own. So ultra heat. So to switch that on, very similar to that, but this is electric. You see there it says 230 volts. So this is heating an element up in the fire. So if I can turn that, you see a green light.
Yeah.
So 2,000 watts or 2 kilowatts, 500 or 1,000. So obviously 2,000 being the highest energy. If that green light's not on, you haven't switched it on the consumer unit. So that space heater button there, if you just switch that off, and just press it, that's it off.
And there's a fail.
Green's light, yeah, with green light not in there, that means you've got no energy to use. If you just switch it back on again, that's it. Switch it again so you can see the light on. That's it. So if green light's on, you know it's working. If you're sitting there and there's no heat coming out of that fire, just have a look. If that green light's not there, you just haven't switched it on there, or you haven't got the electric connected or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got thermostat control in the centre, so that's a little control in the centre. 9, that's the hottest setting if it's next to the green light. 1 is the coldest setting.
Okay.
All right. So that's heating an element up in your fire, which is obviously this over here. Back up a bit. So, as I said, this will operate on electric or gas.
If you want it to run off the gas, then manually on top of it.
So it's on that control there. So if I turn that, if you can hear from there the clicking, that's the igniter ready to ignite. Press the button down, releases the gas, ticking stops, and you should be able to see it at an angle. You see the flame in the bottom of the heater. Okay. Narrow point of it is the pointer, so obviously all the way around to 10, that's the hottest, and this will churn a fair bit of heat out if you're really cold. Okay. So switch it off, just bring it back just past 0. If you can hear the clicking, obviously you haven't turned it far enough. Okay. This side of it is your fan. That is independent of both the heats. So you can use it with the electric, or you can use it with the gas on the heating.
Okay.
So all it's doing is just a fan. It's just circulating the air around. You'll see vents, which I can't see from there. Should be one at the front there. Should be one in the bathroom and one at the back end of the van. So when you're using using your heat, have a fan running. And that
Okay.
will circulate the heat around the van, and obviously spreads it around. So centre of that is off. To the right is thermostatically controlled, so automatic. So that goes up and down with the heat when it needs it. To the left is the manual side of it. So that's the speed control there.
Okay.
Okay. It's as I said, it's independent of both the heat, so you could actually have the fan running on its own without any heat. So just like a fan heater without the heater on.
Yeah.
It just circulates air.
Yeah.
So you can use that as well. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Good. Right. I don't know if I want to really get up because I don't think I'll be able to get back down again. Right. Fridge. So this will run on electric or gas, or it will run on 12 volts from the car as long as you've got that wired into your vehicle. On-off button is this little button here. So press and hold, that switches it on. Press and hold switches it off. Blue light, that's saying we're okay. It's running okay. You can see the screen is just slightly darker at the moment. If I could press any button, it lights the screen up.
Okay.
Okay. So we're operating on gas at the moment, and we've got all 5 lit there. That's the temperature range. Okay. So to change the temperature range, so all 5 is the coldest setting. So you just keep pressing that, and it just scrolls round and round till you
Yeah.
decide what setting you wanted at. The one on the left, that's the energy select. So I don't want to use gas, I want to use electric. Just press that, you've got electric. If I press it again, that's 12 volts. So that's 12 volts coming from the car when the engine's running.
Okay.
Okay.
So
So presumably, before your journey, you would need to come in here to check to see what that's on.
Yes.
If you wanted to
Yeah.
it to run whilst you're
Yeah.
in transit.
that's it.
Yeah.
So you don't need to switch on anything up on the control panel when you're travelling. All you do is switch the fridge on,
Yeah.
select battery,
Yep.
and then once the engine's running, it will provide that power to it.
Cool.
Okay. And you can see there we've got a blue light flashing at the moment. That means that the fridge can't detect whatever energy I'm asking for. So obviously the car's not there, the engine's not running. So it's realising that it's giving me an error.
Yeah.
Okay. If
Yeah.
it's doing that on the gas, that means the gas hasn't lit. So if it's doing that, switch it off. So it's similar to your boiler. Switch it off. Check your gas. Make sure you turn it on. Make sure you've got gas running. Give it about a minute. Switch it back on again. It will reattempt to light it. Okay. If it
Yeah.
fails again, turn it off again.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same procedure as your boiler. Okay. Just the compressor. So to light the gas, you just select gas, and it will automatically light.
Yep.
Okay.
As if you just heard that pop then. Okay. Most people tend to operate on electric
Yep.
because that tends to be free with the pitch,
Yeah.
and you're not using your gas. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Simple.
Right, we'll just come back to this consumer unit then, because there's another couple of features I haven't explained yet. So, obviously we talked about the space heater and the water heater. Charger, so the charge unit is in there as well. That's switched on, electric connected, it will charge your leisure battery and also provide power to the rest of the systems. Reverse polarity is just an indicator light, so that's not a switch. So you go on a continent, they wire things different than what we do.
Yeah.
You plug your electric into their bollard, come and have a look. If it's lit, it is reverse, you're going to need an adapter to operate off their electrics.
Okay.
Okay. System shutdown button. So when you're in storage, switch that off, and then it'll save the battery.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but if you obviously leave it down, it can drain the battery. You can kill a battery in a year easy, quite easy,
Okay.
if not less, a lot
Yeah.
less than that. If something's running in the background and kills you off, obviously make sure you switch it back on again when you go to use
Yeah,
it. 240 trips, so similar to your domestic,
Yeah.
and then you also got 12 volt fuses. So you got info note on both of them to say
Yeah.
what they're connected to.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. Right, what we got next? Microwave. That definitely doesn't work on gas. So some people have asked. So what we've got on the quick start, on the start button, so it goes up in 30-second increments. So if you want a minute, press it twice, and it will start automatically. Off it goes. Or if you want, obviously a bit more accurate with the seconds, press the power button. If I pressed it again, it will go to 80%. If I pressed it again, it will go to 60% or 50%.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you leave it on 100%, then you just turn this control here. You can see now I'm changing the seconds by 10, and press start, and away it goes. Otherwise, if you just go straight to that, it'll go through auto menu.
Okay.
So it's just start if you want 30 seconds, or power and then turn. Gives you the extra seconds. And glass plate, do not travel with that in. If that comes out when you're driving and that comes crashing down here, it's going to be tears and expense. So I'll just sneak it there for now.
Yeah.
Just make sure you do keep it safe. My wife tends to put it in the bowl with a tea towel wrapped around it, so it's stopping it rattling as it goes down the road.
Okay.
Cooker, 12 volt igniter on that
Just
button
going
there.
back to the microwave, that's running off Lecky, yeah?
Yes,
And
yes.
that's running off not your battery or
Nothing
anything
else,
like that.
nothing else,
Literally
electric only.
off the Lecky, yeah, fine.
So when I plug my electric in, I'm trying to think now if it's this one. Sometimes you hear the microwave beep when it's got electric connected to it.
Yeah.
So that's my indicator when I'm plugging it in. Have I got electric? Is that bollard I've just plugged in tripped? So if I can hear that go beep, I know I've connected.
Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Okay, good. So 12 volt igniter for the cooker. So we have got a 240 as well on there.